Hello and welcome to the bonus podcast for episode 439 of Coronation Street. And this week we are... What are we doing this week? You might be listening to us. You might be watching us. We're on YouTube. We're on podcast.
We're in your ears.
We're on everything.
And in your eyeballs.
Video. Whoa. Oh, you can't. I've got to be really careful that we are not just pandering to people that are watching this. We need to make sure we're describing everything that's going on our screen at the moment.
This is primarily a podcast.
It is.
For people with ears.
If you are listening with your ears and not looking with your eyes, we are on the Google homepage for today's bonus podcast because today we are answering the web's most asked questions about Coronation Street. It's a thing that YouTubers do, apparently. We've seen it.
We're now YouTubers, but also podcasters.
Occasional YouTubers, except you never see our faces.
No.
So,
you can see Michael's face.
Gemma, would you like to explain for people who are not with it as us?
Us?
Yeah, we're totally with it because we've heard of this thing that young people do on YouTube
on the internet.
Stuff.
Okay.
What is answering the web's most asked questions on a topic?
Okay, I might have a shaky understanding of this, but isn't it just you write in a question to Google and see what it does as autocomplete?
Yes, it's all to do with the Google autocomplete.
Okay, right. Let's just explain what Google autocomplete is.
Look, Sally Dinover. Oh, there's too many things there.
Perfect pumpkin soup.
Here you can see some
things.
This
is all my ones from the.
Some of these things we've already been searching.
I was trying to look up what does. I thought it was skin in French. Yeah. Okay, right. Sorry, that's not good.
This is nothing to do with it.
Right. So
Sorry, yeah, but just tell us.
So Google autocomplete. What happens with Google autocomplete is you start to write something in, and Google will guess what the whole sentence might be based on more frequently asked questions.
I'm just typing in, is Michael,
and it comes up with, the first one is Michael Portillo married? That's the most asked question, we assume, on Google with the first two letters, is Michael. And the second one is Michael Schumacher still in a coma?
Right, this is going to be an episode that it could be hilarious, it could be awful, it could be very often accidentally cringy, and we go, never mind that question, let's move on. But we'll see, won't we? We're going to be putting in some different sentence starters and Coronation Street characters and actors and places and things like that, and see what funny things it come up with. Please let there be some funny things, and seeing if we can answer them.
I think we've already hit on a bit of a gold mine here, because there are a few hilarious questions on here, like, is Michael Myers real? Is Michael Caine still alive? Is Michael McIntyre Chinese?
But this is nothing to do with Coronation
Street,
it's not. Sadly we cannot answer these questions.
We can't answer
However,
these
if we write in, is Michael from Corrie? I'll say that's still done. Is Michael from Corrie married? Is Michael from Corrie still married? And I think the answer to both of those is no. Although they do like to, pull the rug out from under us with that particular character's past history. So who knows? That one could be changed in the future. But it depends
on which Michael you're talking about.
I'm talking about current Michael Bailey.
Because past Michael, no, he's not married because he's dead.
Yeah.
And it's till death do you part.
So that's basically the gist of this.
I can't wait.
And the reason that we're doing this today is because I've had a mare of a week with schoolwork and I've not been able to prepare anything else. And this seems to be the sort of thing that we can do fairly off the cuff. And like I said earlier, it might... it might come and bite us in the bum. For example, if you're watching this on YouTube saying what some more autocomplete history is. But never mind, we've got to be careful with this. Gemma, what do you want to start off with first? Do you want to try and do a few more character sort of questions?
Yeah? Okay, so how about...
Just give me a character.
Okay, Ken Barlow.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with is Ken Barlow. So what do we get?
Oh my god! One of them is Ken Barlow a druid?
Is Ken Barlow a druid?
I don't know.
That's a brilliant question.
Sometimes the question really prompts you to wonder why somebody would ask this.
I know why people are asking this.
What, because of his groovy love?
It's about William Roach's free love movement and extracurricular activities. Ken Barlow isn't a druid.
But surely... Yeah, William Roach.
I don't know whether William Roach would identify as a druid or not.
No, but I want to know what about druids makes people think that they're into free love. I think they're confusing hippies and druids.
No, but I've seen pictures in the 70s of William Roach in some crazy get-ups.
Really?
Yes.
What, druid stuff?
I don't know what a druid wears.
I thought they looked a bit like they're in the KKK, but without the hoods.
Well, I mean, we can always use another internet
casting aspersions
device
on
and
druids,
find out.
clearly.
But the question is, Ken Barlow a druid? Is most definitely no at the moment.
Is Ken Barlow dead in real life? Now that is an impossibility because he is a fictional character, and therefore he can't be anything in real life.
I've not seen him in Coronation Street recently. Is all I'm saying. But I think he's going to be back very soon. So in fact, no, that's not true. They put some pictures on the Coronation Street social media just today of William Roach and Barbara Knox back to work. So they're going to be there in time for Christmas.
That's a spoiler,
Oh,
Michael.
It's not really a spoiler. It's just saying that they're going to be in it later on this year. And we said that the oldies were going to come back. I mean, the more mature members of the cast.
We can definitely answer the first question.
Is Ken Barlow still in Coronation Street? Yes, he is. Is
yes.
Ken Barlow dead? No. Why are they so obsessed with that? Is Ken Barlow still alive?
I think a lot of these will be.
Is this what happens when you reach a certain age, if you're a celebrity, that people just want to Google whether you're dead or not?
Honestly, I think that's true.
We'll try some of the other ones later. Barbara Knox. We'll come up with some. We've got, is Ken Barlow married? Is Ken Barlow married at the moment? Sadly not, because Rula Lenska has abandoned him at the Stillwater's retirement home.
Posh Putang.
He will not. Is Ken Barlow married in real life? He's married.
Again,
isn't he?
no, he isn't.
No, but we know.
Because real life.
William Roach is married in real life, I believe. I think. I can't remember.
You started this with such authority.
I know that he's got.
Do you want me to actually look this up?
Well, you
know what? I can't think. I think we shouldn't actually look these up. I think we should just rely on our knowledge now.
No, but I think that maybe William Roach's wife has died. I can't
that's
remember.
Insensitive of you.
You look out for that. Is Ken Barlow's real son in Corrie? No, but Ken Barlow's real son was in Corrie about 10 years ago, and he played. Hasn't he had a couple of children in Coronation Street? Hasn't he had one of his children play his son, and one of his other children play his grandson?
What a burn for the one who had to play the son.
Old Linus Roach. So not anymore.
Yes, unfortunately, he's had 2 wives, and they are both
I thought
deceased.
so. Oh. This is going so well.
Yes,
anyway,
we haven't insulted
moving
anybody.
on. Is Ken Barlow dead in Coronation Street? No, we've already ascertained that. So that's our first start about Ken Barlow. That wasn't a bad start. I'm going to go for... Let's go for another classic character. I want to know all about... I want to know about David Platt. He's one of my favourites at the moment.
What about... No.
What?
Does.
Oh, does. Okay, let's change our verbs. Does David Platt... I hope this is interesting to everybody. Does David Platt die in Coronation? Not regularly. He hasn't done yet.
Does he
Although
die?
You never know. One day that might end up happening. It's not. I mean, I've never even seen him do stand up. I don't know whether he'd die on stage though. But I think he's quite witty, so probably not.
The meaning is that the same meaning as they.
Does David Platt have a speech impediment? No, he's just northern.
I can't believe you said that.
He does have a Yorkshire accent, which maybe makes him sound a little bit wrong.
Not the same as a Lancashire accent.
Yeah. Does David Platt sell his house? Topical question.
Now this might be a spoiler if we answered this, but actually we don't know the answer.
Well, the last time we checked, he wasn't going to sell his house. He was just quite happy to have a sinkhole in the garden and not go outside.
Just
I think that's how he's dealing with it at the moment.
Any future any future estate agent to think of some reason why that would be a feature.
Yeah. Does David Platt go to jail? He went to jail. He's been in jail a few times, hasn't he?
This seems to be
not at the moment.
Weirdly a weird tense. Some people are asking
we
questions
started
with
tense. Does, didn't we? If you'd have put
I know,
did.
no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People are doing that weird thing where they use a future tense to ask about past things.
This is the present tense.
Present tense.
Does David Platt leave Coronation Street? No, nobody leaves Coronation
Never.
Street at the moment because they're on lockdown and they're not allowed to do any location shoots.
Yeah.
That's just blanket for all the characters at the moment. But I don't want David Platt to ever leave the show Coronation Street.
2 weird related questions. Does David Platt have a disability? And does David Platt have cerebral palsy?
I've got a feeling there's more than one David Platt. I think that there's... Let's just have a little...
There is also one here. Where does David Platt preach?
David Platt. Just typing it. He is an English footballer.
David Platt recast 2000. That's your search.
I've searched that at one point. He's a footballer,
and also the president of the International Mission Board.
That is probably the preachy David Platt. Okay, well that was quite fun. Do you want to pick another character, Gemma? Who's name your poison? I want to stick with the old favourites at the moment.
All right,
Can yeah.
Audrey Roberts.
Audrey Roberts.
Can Audrey be a man's name? That's a good question.
Oh, it doesn't want to answer anything. It doesn't want to ask us anything about
Corrie.
That. Can Corrie
Audrey.
Can Corrie Audrey. I can't spell Audrey. Audrey. No, it doesn't want that. Let's change that. Is.
Oh,
here we go.
Okay.
How old is Audrey from Corrie?
I reckon she's 80.
I don't know. I mean, old enough that she's not been able to be in the show for quite a while.
I think she had her 80th birthday.
I think she might have been.
I think she might have had it.
I think so.
This year,
She's
maybe.
dead old. She's dead old is the answer to that. Is Audrey leaving Corrie? No, she's going to stay there forever. Who is Audrey from Corrie married to? Nobody at the moment, but do you know who she's married to in real life? Do you know who Sue Nichols is married to?
The name.
He's married to Mark Eden, who played Alan Bradley. So there's a bit of Corrie trivia for you there. How old is Audrey out of Corrie? It cares about the age. It's rude to ask women her age.
Yeah, but that's why you put it in Google.
Oh, yeah, good boy. I'm going to go and meet Audrey from Corrie, and I don't want to ask her, but I really want to know.
What are you doing on your phone, lovey? Nothing.
Is Audrey from Corrie dead? No, she's fine. She's doing just fine. She's just got a bit of a damp problem.
How about Hayley Cropper now?
Okay, let's start. Where, and I'm not going to put anything else, where Hayley Cropper...
Where is Hayley Cropper from?
Where is Hayley Cropper from? Hayley Cropper is from Weatherfield.
Is she from Weatherfield?
Yes, she certainly is. Absolutely.
Well, she was at the end of her life, but where was she from originally?
I don't know. What else can we ask about Hayley? Can Hayley Cropper... that's a cancer. Hayley Cropper pancreatic cancer. Yeah, that's how she died.
That's what in the end.
When did Hayley Cropper die? Oh, there we go. When did Hayley Cropper die? Well, it was on a National TV Awards week, is all I remember for that one.
I thought you can tell if you're an important character.
2014, I'm going to say. 2015. It was longer ago than you think. I'm going to say 2014 for that one. When did she die? When did Hayley Cropper join Coronation Street? 1998.
Wow.
I'm going to say. 98, 99.
We're never going to check these.
We're never going to check. People can.
Can we have why?
What about Hayley, or do you want to have another one?
No.
Why did Hayley Cropper kill herself? Well, that's just inappropriate.
I don't think you're allowed to say that on YouTube.
Yeah, we're not going to get all our sweet YouTube cash now, are we?
No, I don't think
we will. It's like if you mention coronavirus on YouTube.
Monetised.
Why does Hayley Cropper kill herself, Gemma?
Because she was going to die anyway, and she was like...
She was worried that she would end up forgetting
myself.
Who she was. She was worried that she would regress to Harold, wasn't she? So, oh my gosh, that was such a tragic scene.
Well, that was a bummer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Why did Hayley Cropper leave Coronation Street? Because the Hes wanted to.
Yeah.
Nobody tells her what to do.
No.
Right. Let's do some. I want to know about Pat Phelan. Let's see. Has Google forgotten about Pat Phelan?
So what should I ask? What have you got? How much is Pat Phelan?
I've just written down some question starters. How much is Pat Phelan?
Oh, how many did Pat Phelan kill?
How many did Pat Phelan
kill? Now that is actually
question.
A controversial question, isn't it? Well, it's not. The answer will be controversial because he actually caused the death of certain people without killing them.
I'm trying to remember the lighthouse scene. So Michael Rodwell was a let him die kind of death.
He watched him have a heart attack but didn't help him.
Who else?
So he was responsible for his death but he didn't kill him. Now, then you have Vinny and Andy.
Yeah.
And Vinny was killed by Andy.
Yes.
But only under duress from Pat Phelan. And then Pat killed Andy. So that was technically his first.
Yeah. And then there was Luke, wasn't there?
And Luke, he blew Luke up in a car.
Yes, I think that's everybody.
And he tried to kill Michelle, but
sadly
didn't manage
close
to pull it off.
I mean, he's already up there in our favourite Coronation Street characters, so that might have, leapfrogged him over Hilda Ogden.
Carry on with Pat Phelan?
Yeah, let's do a bit more feeling questions on Google. So I want to know is, does Pat Phelan
Oh.
come back?
Oh,
Does
I
he
wish
come back?
he did.
That would be lovely. We did get to see him zipped up in the body bag, didn't we? Because they had to make sure that everybody knew, just like when they dredged Richard Hillman out. We'll have to do Richard Hillman in a minute. Just like when they dredged him out of the canal, it's like he's definitely dead. So no, Pat Phelan is not coming back, sadly. Although
Unless
we do
in
know
a
that
dream sequence.
we do know that Conor McIntyre is doing well at the moment. He's okay. He could come back if they invited him. But I think that would be jumping the shark somewhat.
Maybe he could come back for Text Santa as a jolly serial killer.
They don't do Text Santa anymore.
Well, they might bring it back.
We do need that for this year, don't we?
Does Text Santa come back, is my question.
How does Pat Phelan die?
He gets stabbed to death by Anna Windass.
Who does Pat Phelan kill? We've done that one already. When does Pat Phelan die in Corrie? In the past?
First time, he died at Easter.
He did, then he came back, didn't he, after falling into the sea. Then he died again in Britain's Got Talent week a little bit later. When was it?
How do you remember the difference between all these special weeks?
Podcaster.
National Television Awards and
January,
Britain's Got Talent.
May. It was 2018 is the answer to that one. Okay, let's do a Richard Hillman. I wonder if Google's been asking more about Richard Hillman. Where does Richard, not Hammond, not Branson, not Osmond. Where does Richard Hillman live?
Questions.
That is a bit bland. Where does Richard Hillman come from? He was Alma's cousin. Where does Richard Hillman die? Portland Basin. Yeah, that's a bit boring. Okay, let's do a is Richard. Here we go. Is Richard Hillman coming back to Corrie? Again, I think probably no for that one.
Well, the second one is the same. Is Richard Hillman returning to Coronation Street? No.
Well, I like number 4 down there. Is Richard Hillman in Legally Blonde? Are we talking about Brian Capron here? I don't know, Gemma. That might need a little bit of a Google. Gemma is Googling on her phone.
I'm only Googling this because I am
Richard
actually
Hillman
interested in the
Legally
answer.
Blonde? Do you like Legally Blonde?
I bloody love it.
Would you love it more if you knew that Brian Capron was in it?
Yeah.
I know that Peter Gunn is in the Hannah Montana movie. that's my other bit of Corrie movie trivia, but I don't know the answer to that one. How old is Richard Hillman? 60s maybe, 70s. Don't know. Who is Richard Hillman? Well, just go to find out that on the Coronation Street Conversation Street character profile.
I can't see that he is in.
Okay, the answer
unless
is
he was in.
The answer is no to that. Richard Hillman is
unless
not
he was in the
Legally
musical
Blonde.
version of it.
Well, they need to be more specific with their questions. I'm sorry, that's just not good enough. Okay.
He was the narrator in the Rocky Horror Show, for example.
Don't care
And
about
he was
that.
also in movies such as
didn't ask
Emma,
him for that.
101 Dalmatians, Still Crazy, and Ambleton Delight, which I assume is not the same as Afternoon Delight.
I would like to know. I'm sorry. I'm to tell me if I'm hijacking this, but while we're on the topic of villains, Jeff Metcalfe is the man of the moment. Surely some people have been asking some things about Jeff Metcalfe. Probably. Does he die? When does he die? But let's find out.
Why?
Why?
Just put why Jeff Metcalfe.
Jeff Metcalfe. Why Jeff Metcalfe, Coronation Street? Why? No, that's it. It's not giving me a question there. Why
did?
Oh. Why did Jeff
Metcalfe kill Elaine?
Why did Jeff Metcalfe kill Elaine? Spoiler.
That's
I don't
news
think
to
he
me.
did. That is news to me. I'm assuming he didn't. But if he did, it was because she was poking her nose in his business where it wasn't wanted.
She was being a nosy biddy.
I wonder if I change this to why does Jeff Metcalfe? Why does Jeff Metcalfe? Why does Jeff Metcalfe die?
Why does Jeff?
So justice.
Why does Jeff Metcalfe live?
Why does he live? Because it's not the 60th anniversary of Corrie yet. They got to keep him going.
Generally do.
Yeah, well, he has
Once they get born, they just carry on until they get stopped in some manner.
Why does Jeff Metcalfe get caught? Yeah, we're not getting some good answers there,
why
are
don't you
we?
just put No. Put Corrie at the beginning.
No, we know who it is.
No, listen. No, yeah, but Google doesn't know.
Where? Corrie?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference. I'm gonna
get rid of Metcalfe and put Corrie.
What?
Why does Jeff Corrie?
Why does Jeff Corrie spoilers? Yeah, see, I'm gonna go. We must be able to get more than that. I'm gonna put what happens to Jeff Metcalfe?
We don't know.
We don't know what happens to Jeff Metcalfe yet, but I'm still gunning for a public shaming. Don't want him to die. Don't want him to wander into David's sinkhole or anything like that and falling into the pits of hell. But it does deserve it, but I still think
it's
it's
very
shaming.
Halloween-y if you fell into the pits of hell.
Yeah. What happens to Jeff Metcalfe? Yeah, you're getting all the same. That's a bit disappointing. Come on,
Obviously,
Googlers.
people aren't that bothered.
Is Jeff Metcalfe a narcissist?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'll leave that
it's not
to
very
you,
funny, though, is it?
Miss Psychology A level.
Oh, yeah, we did all about narcissism.
What do you think?
Well, I think he is, yeah. I mean, people are waking up more to what being a narcissist is all about. And it's not just falling in love with yourself and then drowning in a river. It's to do with how you treat people and how you center yourself.
Just imagine if Abby had trapped him in the conservatory this week, and he ended up just catching his reflection in the
Who's
in the highly polished glass.
Get
'Cause I'm
out
sure
of the
that Sally's there with
conservatory.
the marigolds on every day, giving it a good old clean.
Yeah.
What else have we got here? Is Jeff Metcalfe married? No. Who is Jeff?
Yes, he is.
Is he?
He's married to Yasmin.
Oh yes, of course.
You fool.
Fool, idiot. Don't trust anything I say.
No.
Is Jeff Metcalfe leaving Coronation Street? Quite likely.
Eventually, we think at the end of his story, yes, he's not really in it for the long haul.
Do you think he will still be in the show at the end of 2020, Gemma? Because I'm saying no. I don't think he's going to last.
I think
the end
you're
of the
right.
year.
Yeah, I think his 2020 is.
I think it's about right if he doesn't.
It's going to be a bad year all round for Jeff Metcalfe.
I mean, the story has dragged a little bit in places, and I don't think it needs to go any further than the 60th anniversary in the aftermath.
Let's do someone different because this isn't working.
Okay, give me another character. We move on from characters in a bit, but do you want to?
I want to do somebody old, maybe Elsie Tanner.
Oh yeah, good
But I don't
answer.
know whether she might have predated Google.
Is Elsie Tanner still alive? Neither the character nor the actress,
No.
sadly.
No, unfortunately not. Who
Who Elsie Tanner? Who played Elsie Tanner, Jem? You know all about
Pat
this. You've read her
Phoenix.
autobiography.
The wonderful Pat Phoenix.
Who played Elsie Tanner's daughter?
Oh, I don't know the name of the actress. I've forgotten.
I can't remember who played Linda either.
Linda Chevesky.
I can't remember. Look
Good,
it up.
good answer.
Good. This is what Google's for if you can't
Who
remember
played
them.
Elsie Tanner's son in Coronation Street?
Philip Lowry.
Yes.
He played Dennis Tanner. Who played Elsie Tanner's grandson? That is a real
bloody
deep cut.
hell, yeah.
What, Martin Chevesky?
Yeah, don't know. Who was Elsie Tanner's daughter?
Linda.
Who played? Yeah. Who lives in Elsie Tanner's house? That's a good
Currently,
question.
who lives in Elsie Tanner's house? Do you know the answer to that one? Or you
What number is it?
Number
7?
11.
11. No bloody clue.
Eileen and Sean and Mary.
I know. Number 1 is the Barlows.
Yeah.
Which are, in McDonald's now. And number 3 is the Baileys.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
5 is Chesney and Gemma. 7. I'm really bad at these. I'm just going to stop there. Dev? I'm going to say Dev because that's the new house.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it there.
Leave it there. And so on and so on.
Etc. Bet Lynch. Let's do Bet Lynch now.
Okay. What do we want to know? What's the question we want to know about Bet Lynch?
How?
How Bet Lynch. How did Bet Lynch leave Corrie? Which time?
Under a cloud.
yeah, the second time. Under a cloud is true. First time the brewery wanted to sell up and she didn't have enough money to afford it and tried to get her money from Rita. She tried to get her money off Vicky, but she couldn't, so she went.
And then how old is Bet Lynch?
Old.
Yeah.
80s.
Time becomes meaningless after retirement, I think.
Let's do Can Bet Lynch. I just want to know anything about Can Bet Lynch. No. I don't know what she can do. Is Bet Lynch still alive?
Is Bet Lynch gay?
Well, she's a man-eater. She was married to Alec.
If she's gay, she's super repressed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think she's a gay icon.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She definitely is a gay icon, so
Yeah.
I'll have that.
Yeah.
Is Bet Lynch... We got a few wanted to know if Bet Lynch is returning to Coronation Street here. I think probably no for that one. But you never know.
I like where is
Stranger
Bet
things
Lynch
have
now
happened.
and what is Bet Lynch doing now?
What is Bet Lynch doing right now?
What is she doing right now?
I think she's sitting there with a cigarette in one hand, glass of something fizzy in the other hand.
Fizzy?
Yeah, lots of nice champagne or something.
Oh, okay. No, I'm thinking more like
What do you
hard.
think? Like a can of pop?
Well, no, that's what I think you think alcohol is all fizzy, but it isn't.
No, I don't think it's all fizzy. I'm thinking she's on the champagne every night.
Oh,
all
good
day,
for
every day.
her. Yeah, brilliant.
And she's living it up on her farm.
And I
up
think
north.
she's going, I'm so glad this pandemic happened, so I don't have to talk to anybody.
We did No, we didn't drive. We were going to go and find where she lived when we went up to Manchester last time, but we didn't. But we do know, and we found some newspaper articles online about the farm that she lives on as well. So if you want to know more about that. She lives on a farm,
and if you could think of anything less likely for Bet Lynch to do in her retirement, it would be to live on a farm.
I don't think she actually goes and ploughs the fields.
No, or like...
She doesn't tend to her crops.
Mucks out the pigs.
She doesn't.
I think if Bet Lynch had a farm, I think she would farm leopards.
Leopard farm.
Yeah.
Oh, but then she skinned them.
I'm a bit cold now. Come here. Come here.
was that the leopard, or was that firing up the electric razor?
They don't use razors.
What do they use?
I'm
shearer.
not even going to get into it.
A leopard shearer.
Michael, it's not like a sheep.
Anyway, that's about Julie Goodyear, isn't it? I don't know what Bet Lynch is doing now.
I think some people are getting them confused.
We are getting a... Well, maybe...
No, I think a lot of the Google searches about characters are secretly asking what the actor is up to. That's why we had all those questions.
Well, let's put in some actors. We can come back to characters later if you want. But I want to know about some Coronation Street.
Together.
I'm just eagerly anticipating what people might be wanting to find out about the Coronation Street cast. Who might people be searching? I'm gonna go for Flanagan. I want to know, what does the internet want to know about Helen Flanagan? Is Helen Flanagan related to Amelia Flanagan?
Who is that?
I don't know. I believe I'm going to say no, but you never know. Is Helen Flanagan still in Corrie? No.
Is she coming back to Corrie?
Hopefully. That was part of the news, wasn't it, recently? Or was it today's news? I can't remember. She wants to come back.
Is Helen Flanagan single? Is Helen Flanagan engaged?
Neither. Yeah.
Isn't she married?
Scott, I think she's married to Scott, or she's at least engaged. I can't remember now. So, off the market.
Peter Pan? Nobody's in anything.
No pantos at the moment.
Nobody is in anything.
Is Helen Flanagan Irish? Well, she doesn't have an Irish accent, does she?
She's got an Irish name, though. I never even thought about it.
No, I didn't either. Never even considered that. I don't believe she is Irish, but she may have Irish blood. But of course, deep in her heart, she's a true Cockney. Whenever she speaks on our podcast, at least, anyway. Does Helen Flanagan have a child? Yes, she does. She's got a third in the way.
In the way?
On the way.
They're always in the way.
Okay, Gemma, what actor or actress would you like to ask Google about? This is quite fun. I'm
sure that there will be some scandals with some of that. You've written down a handy little crib sheet, and the second one we've got on this list, I'm sure, might have a scandal attached if we're not careful how we write this into Google.
Oh, let's
the
risk it.
name is Faye Brooks.
Okay. Does?
Oh no! What are you doing?
Brooks.
Okay, that's all right.
Safe.
That's safe, yeah.
Does Faye Brooks have a sister? It's like I can't. She's maybe a little bit above my what's the
knowledge.
No, I'm just saying I can't go out with Faye Brooks because she's a bit out of my class.
Oh yeah, she's out of my league.
But if
has she got a sister who's a bit ugly?
Slightly uglier and less famous. I don't know if Faye Brooks has a sister. Is she married? Is she married to Gareth Gates? I can't remember now because they had to splitting up and then they're getting back together again, didn't they? I'm going to say that she's probably not married to Gareth Gates, but I can't remember.
They were married, if that helps you. Is why I thought they were at least going out with each other.
Yeah, they were going out with each other, and I think they're back on. I don't remember. Maybe they're not.
This is why Google
We're not a
doesn't
gossip
ask actual
podcast.
people.
Where does Faye Brooks live? In her house? I don't know.
She might live in a flat.
In a caravan. In a tent.
She lives in a tent in Animal Crossing.
Okay. I want to know about the future. Did you had the news this week about Maureen Lipman?
Why?
She's going to be a dame.
Nice.
I know. That's a little preview of our news section.
I want to be a dame.
Is Maureen Lipman?
Do you know what the American equivalent is?
What?
Broad.
Broad Maureen Lipman. Look at this. Answer this one for us. Is Maureen Lipman married? Jack Rosenthal. There you go. Is Maureen Lipman in Coronation Street? Yes.
Is Maureen Lipman with Giles Brandreth?
Well, they're together on the.
They're always in
on Gogglebox together, aren't they?
Well, there's lots of them here. Is she married to Giles, or is she, yeah?
But Google really wants to know about Maureen Lipman's relationship with Giles Brandreth. I have to tell you, I do wonder why Maureen and Giles are sharing the sofa together on Gogglebox. But why them?
I think some of these. I think Gogglebox picks one of the two famous people and says, "Have you got anyone you want to be on the show with?" And they say, "Yes, my famous friend." And I think it might be Giles that they asked, and he went, "I've got a really funny friend called Maureen Lipman. You might have heard of her. She's going to be a dame. She's already abroad in America. Get it?"
Yeah.
And so they put them on this together.
No, maybe.
Well, maybe. I don't think who's that? Who's Jack?
Jack?
Is he famous?
Well, yes, maybe. There's Jack Rosenthal. He died in 2004.
Well, he can't be on Gogglebox then.
No, but he was married to Maureen Lipman until 2004. How do I go back? I've made this full screen, but I don't know how to go back. Yes, I'm using Edge, everybody, because I'm edgy.
So that's why, Michael, that Giles and Maureen are on Gogglebox and not Maureen and Jack.
Yes, that would make sense.
Yeah.
How are we doing, podcast listeners? Are we describing everything that's happening on screen at the moment for you?
Hopefully. It's very interesting that all of Maureen Lipman's questions are to do with her relationship status and nothing to do with Coronation Street.
That's true.
Because she's very famous for not being in Coronation Street.
Well, that's why I wanted to put her in there. We could try about Ruler Lenska as well, couldn't we? Does Ruler Lenska...
Oh my God. Now we're getting to the real nitty gritty here, because the first question is, does Rula Lenska have her own hair?
I like the wording of that. Does she have her own hair?
It's like, it makes
it sound as though she borrows
it like there's a communal hair, like communal wigs at Coronation Street, and they're like, who wants this big red one? And she went, me, darling.
Barbara Knox is like, your hands off that wig.
Get off it. Get your own hair.
That's amazing.
Maybe Barbara Knox is Googling, does she have her own hair so she can justify not having to share hers?
Here's another good question as well. Does Rula Lenska have false teeth?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I do know something about Rula Lenska's dentist. But that's private information.
Why are you bringing that up?
I'm just saying, I know something about Rula Lenska's dentist, but I'm not telling you, podcast listeners. Get it out of me.
Is Rula Lenska's hair a wig?
This is so cruel.
No way.
Rula Lenska is all natural, baby.
From colour to length.
Is Rula Lenska deaf? Is Rula Lenska a real countess?
Yes, she? She is, isn't she?
She's a Russian countess, isn't she? Or Polish countess or something.
Is it real? I don't think you can be a Russian countess. Didn't they kill them all off?
Tsarina. I don't know. She's got bluer blood than any of you listeners out there.
And if anyone listening does have bluer blood than Rula Lenska, then we've got a Patreon.
Okay, right.
That was awesome.
That was
a good one.
I have avoided this long enough, and I think it's time we delved into friends of the podcast here.
No.
Yes. Who first? I'm going to go for Sal.
No.
Recently birthdayed Sally Ann Matthews. What does the internet want to know about her? Is Sally Ann Matthews married? Yes. He's married to Eamon Dawes, isn't she?
Yes.
To Nick.
Does Sally Ann Matthews have a sister?
Another one. These people that want soap stars' sisters to go out with.
Yes. Why? I don't know.
I can't remember. Maybe. I'm not sure. Do you, Sal? I don't know. I know you've got other family members.
This is very invasive to actually ask somebody.
You don't have to tell us if you don't want to.
Who is Sally Ann Matthews related to? Now that's a good question, because we know she's got a famous relative.
We do. She's Amanda Barry.
Yes.
Yeah, she's cousin. Yeah.
Cousins,
the DNA program.
Yeah.
Not like really close cousin.
Well, the fact that
never bumped into each other at the Christmas parties.
Had to be told this on television makes me think that they're not that close.
Yeah. Who is Sally Ann Matthews' husband? We've already established that. How old is Sally Ann Matthews?
Oh, we know
she's
this.
50.
She's 50. Famously 50, because she's doing her special 50 running. 50 5k runs for her
I was going to say 50k then.
And it'd be more than 50k when she's finished, all added up together. And you can sponsor her.
I want to know more about Sally Ann Matthews. Sally Ann Matthews... No, it doesn't want to tell me that one. Okay, we don't know. We're not going to find out about her special talents. Where does Sally Ann Matthews live?
Again,
that's
a house.
Far too private. But sometimes she goes on holiday to Anglesey.
I think that's it.
Okay, all right. Have we? Why have I written Sally Ann Matthews Denise Black as an option there? That's a weird one. Okay. I want to know about. Which friend of the podcast should we do next? Whose turn is it?
You're being mischievous and I'm not involved.
Does
Georgia
Taylor, George Banks, we're going to come for you in a bit. Does Georgia Taylor have a child?
Do you count cats?
She has got a cat called Audrey. But unless she's keeping a child very, very quiet.
She might do.
So. Does Georgia Taylor have a sister? Again, I'm not... No, I'm going to say no. But maybe she does. It's none of your business, Google.
All these sisters are second best.
Oh, here we go. This is better.
Ooh.
Is Georgia Taylor... Do you want to pick some questions there?
Is Georgia Taylor in Love Actually?
No.
She might have mentioned it because we love that film. And also Colson Swift loves that film as well.
You can...
And you think he would have brought it up?
You can watch... who is in Love Actually from Coronation Street?
Thingy. Johnny.
Was it?
He was the
manager. No, he wasn't.
Man.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He was
the Deputy Prime Minister.
Oh, yes, that's
was
right.
Richard Hawley.
He's got such gravitas.
And John the Bishop was a radio presenter. Whatever happened to John the Bishop?
That's true, yes.
And I'm sure there was somebody else.
I can't remember.
I think there was a third Corrie person in it, but I can't remember. But definitely no Georgia Taylor. Is Georgia Taylor related to Ellie White?
I think people are confusing Georgia Taylor with... Keira Knightley.
Easily done. Is Georgia Taylor in Line of Duty?
Interesting thing about Georgia Taylor that she was actually in Pirates of the Caribbean, but everyone thinks it's Keira Knightley.
Is Georgia Taylor in Line of Duty? No, but she was on CSI, wasn't she?
And she was in Casual plus Y.
She was.
Is Georgia Taylor vegan?
Oh, that's a good question. Is Georgia Taylor vegan? We can exclusively reveal, no, she's not. Neither is Toya even. Even Toya's just a vegetarian.
Yeah.
But we have seen Georgia Taylor in the flesh tuck into
a whole
animal
live
products.
Pig. She just bit it on the snout. It was actually horrific. That's not true.
Who is Georgia Taylor's part? He's called Mark. He's a photographer.
You're not allowed to say things.
I only say things if I know that she has said it as well.
Well, this was information from her Instagram.
Yes, I did get it from there and real life. Well, it answered it for me just briefly then. Mark Leatheran, there you go. Right, okay, Georgie, you're off the hook. Let's as we've started, I'm going to just do a bit of a George Banks. Now, we'll get some good answers to this one. George Banks, who played Henry off Coronation Street. Maybe not famous, but there are other George Bankses. So let's just imagine that the George Banks questions that it's asking here are about our pal George. Is George Banks still alive?
Yeah.
Yes. He texted me yesterday.
He sent me a thing for my birthday in Animal Crossing.
He did. Yes. I regularly check in on George Banks. He's doing absolutely fine. Thank you very much. Is George Banks in Mary Poppins Returns? This is because the character George Banks is the dad of Mary Poppins, isn't he?
Yes.
That's the more famous George Banks, I have to say. A bit of a common name.
Why are you slandering people?
I'm not.
He is not.
It's
well,
a solid
George
name,
Banks,
George Banks.
I love the name. He is in Mary Poppins Returns, but he doesn't appear as the actor George Banks. It's the character.
What?
The character
Of?
Oh, is he dead?
No, I can't.
I think he's dead.
You're not
actually.
thinking of Dick Van Dyke, are you?
George Banks is the father in Mary Poppins.
Yeah. I don't think he's alive anymore. I don't know. I've only seen Mary Poppins Returns once. It was all right. Who is George Banks? Well, he plays Henry Newton off Coronation Street. How old is George Banks in Father of the Bride 2?
I love Father of the Bride 2. Father of the Bride. They're bringing out a new Father of the Bride for Christmas, I think, for charity.
I like this one, Gemma. George Banks is saying no. That's not a question. I don't know what that's referring to. What would George Banks be saying no to?
No.
It's probably saying, no, I'm not going to let you win this next round of Smash Brothers, Michael. I'm going to play fairly and wipe the floor with you.
George Banks is saying no to coronavirus.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Okay, right. We got to do Charlie, haven't we, just to make it fair. Is Charlie De Melo?
What?
Right. Is Charlie De Melo Spanish? No.
I don't think he is.
I believe not.
It depends on what your definition of Spanish is.
I've not seen his passport.
What are you laughing at me? I'm laughing at the definition of. I mean, if you ask an American, "Are you Spanish?" they'll be like, "Yes, I'm Spanish," and you'll say, "What part of Spain were you born in?" And they'll say, "No, my great grandfather
is Mexican." Well, one of these has got to be wrong. Is Charlie De Melo Italian is the next option. And
Could
then
be.
2 down is Charlie De Melo Portuguese. What does everybody want to know about Charlie Mello's nationality?
Can I tell you something?
I think he's English.
It's perfectly possible for him to be Spanish, Italian and Portuguese. Because his mum could be Spanish, his dad could be Italian, and he could have been born in Portugal. We just don't know.
I need to ask this next time we speak to him.
Yeah. On my favourite one on here is Charlie De Melo real?
What is the most random question? Why do they want to know that? Is Charlie De Melo real?
There's something about Charlie De Melo that inspires people to question reality itself.
Again, yes, Charlie De Melo is definitely real.
Well,
I have seen him in the flesh.
Maybe he's a robot.
I have shared drinks with Charlie De Melo, and we chatted with him a couple of days ago. So yes, he was definitely real.
How would you know if he was real or not? I mean,
is he a figment of our imagination?
I can only answer this. I can only answer it this way. If Charlie De Melo is not real, then neither are we.
Charlie De Melo is not real. Who plays Imran?
Good question.
Is Charlie De Melo married? No. Is Charlie De Melo...
Could be, secretly.
Is Charlie De Melo and Addison Rae cousins?
Is this not something to do with that tweeny TikToker?
This is to do with the tweeny TikToker whose name is a little bit like Charlie De Melo. I wonder if it will tell us. Not Charlie Dimmock. This one, look. Is Charlie D'Amelio is an American dancer. People get her confused with Charlie De Melo apparently sometimes.
Well, we can let you know now that they are two different people, and they're both real.
People. Okay, right. I think those people are off the hook now. This is good. I'm enjoying this so far. We're 40 minutes in, and I'm not feeling any signs of flagging at the moment. If the listeners are bored with this, then just switch it right off now. But I'm enjoying this. Let's move away from characters for a bit. Let's just find out, what does the web want to know about Coronation Street? Is Coronation Street still on?
Yes.
Yes. 60 years strong.
Is Coronation Chicken gluten-free? I don't know. You'd have to check the recipe.
Let's put Coronation Street in. Is Coronation Street on tonight? The answer is no. It's Thursday as we're recording this, and when this comes out, it's Saturday. So no, it's not either.
The answer is it depends on when you're asking the question.
It depends on whether you've got the DVDs, because we might tune into another lovely 1986 episode while we're having our dinner later.
In 2020, and Coronation Street can be on whenever you like.
Yes. Yeah. Is Coronation Street still filming? Yes. Is Coronation Street on twice tonight?
How would this ever help you to Google this? What information could you possibly get that would be
This is interesting. People want to be able to arrange their schedules. Is Coronation Street on twice tonight? Is Coronation Street on for an hour tonight? Is Coronation Street repeated?
Never.
Is Coronation Street social distancing? Yes, they're doing very well. And Security Dave has got his big 2-metre stick.
I like this one. Is Coronation Street a real street? Well, is Charlie De Melo real? We don't know.
Yeah, if Charlie De Melo walks down Coronation Street...
Are they real?
Does the universe collapse in on itself because neither of them are real?
Again, what's your definition of real? Because it exists in reality, but you can't live there. So maybe no is the answer.
Coronation
Street. Then, Buckingham Palace is real, but you can't live there either.
Is Coronation Street a real street? Yes and no.
That's what we're just talking about.
We just... my mind was elsewhere.
You weren't even listening, were you?
Sorry.
Is Coronation Street on tonight, Thursday?
Probably not.
That's very helpful.
Unless you're asking this in the past. It used to be on Thursdays, didn't it?
Yeah.
But not for a good... I don't know.
I thought
6 years?
there were some funnier ones. That if you go back, there was something like, why is Coronation Street...
Is
I thought this was,
getting worse?
Is Coronation Street getting worse in the UK?
No, it's coronavirus.
No, sad.
Let's do a few other Coronation Street ones. Does Coronation Street have an omnibus? You know what? I don't even know anymore. Probably. Does it have an omnibus on Saturday and Sunday?
Does Coronation Street exist?
Does Coronation Street have subtitles on the ITV hub? Probably.
Check your listing.
Why? I like this one. Why does Coronation Street look different?
Have you checked your glasses?
Are they doing one of those arty episodes? Is it a Matt Hilton week?
Maybe it's the one where Andy has a dream about...
Well, I mean, it looked different the other week when Michael was just railing from the news that he's not actually related to Tiana. Reeling from the news. So It could be because of that.
Well, like the final question.
When does Coronation Street run out of episodes? Never.
A long time ago, but they haven't stopped.
God, one day it will. When does Coronation Street catch up? Yeah, these are very interesting questions. Okay, let's try. What other questions? How much? I'm going to try. How much is the Coronation Street tour?
Oh, too much.
Too much is the answer to that. What?
How much? This is all just to do with how much is it to visit Coronation Street?
No, look. How much is Coronation Street worth?
Right now, can we work this? Ray probably has a very good idea about this.
Oh yeah, are you thinking about the program or the actual street?
This is what Ray has put into Google.
Yeah, we have got Ray's search history there. How much is Coronation Street worth? I think it's time that I invested in that and started buying.
Is it worth £500,000?
Yeah.
Because I might pose as a German doctor to try and raise the funds to buy
it. Why is Sinead leaving Coronation Street? Katie McGlynn wanted to leave, didn't she?
Why isn't Coronation Street on tonight?
Because it's Tuesday or Thursday or Saturday or Sunday. But if it is Tuesday and Thursday, you can find some Conversation Street content that's loaded up to YouTube on those two
Why
evenings.
is Coronation Street not on ITV Hub?
It is.
Why is David Platt leaving Coronation Street?
He's not.
Why is Bethany leaving Coronation Street?
She went ages ago.
Why is Michelle leaving Coronation Street?
That's all about why people
Why
leave.
is Shona leaving Coronation Street?
She's not leaving Coronation Street.
Why is Robert leaving Coronation Street?
This is all ages ago. I don't like these wide questions. Let's do one more. What other question can we ask? I can't remember what we've done. Oh, have we done does? Does Shona die in Coronation Street? No. Does Jeff... Oh, you spelt Jeff wrong there, YouTuber. Jeff, not YouTuber, Googler. Does Jeff die in Coronation Street? Oh, and here's the correct spelling of does Jeff die in Coronation Street. Say before, I'm hoping not for that one.
Does Rita die in Coronation Street?
These are all just like really melancholy questions.
Street? Does Gary die in Coronation Street? Does Robert kill Vicky in Coronation Street?
What kind of evil-minded people have been searching Google for this?
I just like the optimism of thinking that Google knows the answer to these questions when literally it hasn't been revealed to even the journalists what's going on.
Does Gary die in Coronation Street? Does Gary Windass die? Look, two people want to know the Gary died, or two groups of people. Does Robert kill Vicky in Coronation Street? No.
No, but it looks like he might do.
Derek got to him for... No, who killed Robert? Was it Derek? It was Derek, wasn't it? With his gun in the Rovers.
Yeah, let's do Rovers Return.
Well, you want a question about the Rovers Return? Is the Rovers Return a real pub, Gemma?
I don't know. Well, no, because you can't exchange money for alcohol, which is one of the most basic functions of a pub. But we did go in there, and I did have cider put in front of me, but I wasn't allowed to drink it. It was just show.
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about the actual Rovers Return pub, which is just down the road from Key Street Studios, isn't it? There's an actual Rovers Return pub in Manchester with black rather than green.
It's not themed on Coronation Street. I think it already existed before Coronation Street was even a show.
But yes, there is a pub that you can visit in Manchester called the Rovers Return, and it is not affiliated with Coronation Street. Where is the Rovers Return in Manchester in Coronation Street? Where is the Rovers Return? Yeah, that's not very exciting questions, is it?
But Coronation Street isn't in Manchester.
Oh, I've just double-clicked here and it's given me some much more interesting questions. Who is the current landlord of the Rovers Return? Johnny. Who is the landlady of the Rovers Return? Jenny. Who is the new guest at the Rovers Return?
Now, that's a good and timely question.
Scott.
But he's been kicked out.
Yeah, he's not staying there at the moment, is he?
Who was the lodger in Rovers Return?
Oh, people are interested in this.
This is a good one. What is the address of the Rovers Return? It probably is just Rovers Return.
That's a good point, because if Ken's house is number one...
Yeah, it must just be Rovers Return.
0A.
So if you live in the flat up above, how do you differentiate your post from the pub's post?
Yeah, Jenny has to go through it, doesn't she, to make sure.
Yeah.
She snoops through all your posts. Takes all the money out of your Christmas cards.
Who is the man staying at the Rovers Return?
People are really interested in Scott, but we still have no answers.
No,
7, 8, 9 months after we first saw him,
we might find out on Friday, but it seems unlikely.
That's true. We haven't finished the week yet on Coronation Street. It is only Thursday. How much? No, he doesn't want to know about how much. How much Rovers Return burned down?
Not all the way. How much Rovers Return have?
I don't know. How much Rovers Return burned down? It burned down twice. I think is the answer to that one. 1986, I'm going to say. Oh, that's going to be coming up soon on the DVDs, if that's true. And then again, a couple of years ago. Well, again, 5-6 years ago. I've lost count. I'm starting to lose steam, Gemma. I know,
me too. I'm getting bored of this now.
I think we will finish it soon. Well, maybe we'll try and go to the hour mark because we're 50 minutes in at the moment.
We should do some more.
I want to know about what other characters might be. Oh, Gemma. I bet people want to know about Gemma, don't they?
Also, I reckon Carla too.
Is Gemma? I put Corrie.
Yeah.
Is Corrie's Gemma pregnant? She better bloody not be again. She's got enough babies to last her a lifetime.
The next one is Gemma and Corrie really pregnant. Now, what do you mean by that? Do you mean is she actually pregnant or is she really super pregnant?
I think she's really, really pregnant because she was because Bernie had her all her pregnancy tests, didn't she? Unless she managed to fall for her own mum's scam somehow.
Where would you get 4 little babies that didn't want their mum?
Good point. Is Gemma from Corrie married? No, she's not married to Chesney. Is Gemma and Corrie?
No, leaving. No.
No, she's not. Although I'm sure
I think
some
that's
people
wishful
would
thinking from some people.
How old is Gemma Corrie? I don't know how old Dolly Rose is. She's younger than us, isn't she?
Like 43.
Harsh.
No, she's not. She's
20 something. When is Gemma due, Corrie? See, these are old questions. When is Gemma and Corrie due date? Okay, I'm gonna ask.
Why?
Why Gemma Corrie? A question that many of us have asked. Why Gemma Corrie mum?
Well, if you don't know how that happens,
birds and the bees,
you need to search a bit more basic terms on Google.
Why Gemma Corrie quads names?
Because they were Welsh.
They were born in Wales, yeah.
Yeah.
Why Gemma Corrie age? Why Gemma Corrie brother? Why
Gemma Corrie weight loss? Once you have 4 babies removed from your stomach, it goes down a little bit.
You do tend to, go down a bit on the... Okay, that'll do for Gemma. She's escaped.
Just put Carla Connor in.
Carla
Connor mental. That's a search that I have done.
Carla Connor. See, it's not
no. Yeah, but no.
Oh, click. Sorry.
Why did you do that?
I just clicked.
There were some funny ones.
Who plays Carla Connor? Ali King. I nearly said Ali Sinclair there. Is Carla Connor?
To the other questions?
I don't know what happened to the other questions. I don't know.
There we go. Carla Connor hair.
It's not a question.
Yes, she has it. All right, put a question at the beginning.
Is the actress who plays Carla Connor pregnant? No.
Don't think so.
Don't believe so. Is Carla Connor leaving? Is Carla Connor going to die? Is Carla Connor being killed off?
Is Carla Connor dead?
I definitely know the answer to that one, isn't it? We're not getting very good questions about Carla, are we?
No, I would have thought there'd be loads.
I thought there'd be some good ones. I think that the actors are a bit more interesting. I want to know about
Beverly Callard.
I want to know about Beverly Callard.
Now this could get.
Does Beverly Callard? Oh. Doesn't want to ask us. What breed of dog does Beverly Callard have?
Oh, I don't know.
I've seen pictures,
There's 2
but I can't remember
about this.
now.
What kind of dog does Beverly Callard have? I haven't seen her dogs.
I think I've seen pictures online, but I don't remember. Where does Beverly Callard live? I don't know. Some I don't know, mansion somewhere.
Put in what
with all
happened.
That Corrie money. No, what happened? Yeah, what happened to Beverly Callard?
Oh, you can't answer that.
She had bad hips. Is Beverly Callard married, ill, leaving Coronation Street, still married? We're not getting very good Beverly Callard questions. I spelled it wrong anyway. Let's try somebody else. I'd like to know about Sally Carman.
Oh dear.
Is Sally Carman married? No, but she is engaged to Joe Duttine, also known as Johnny Duttine, who plays Tim. Is Sally Carman leaving Corrie? Better not be.
Is Sally Carman in the bay?
Is Sally Carman in the bay?
Right now?
Maybe. When she goes on holiday, maybe. Does Sally Carman have tattoos? Yes.
She must do, unless Coronation Street has inexplicably decided to paint her arms.
She
just for a wheeze.
Abby had some tattoos appear recently, hasn't she? And I think it was something to do with. I'm sure I read somewhere that she used to have her tattoos painted over.
Oh, imagine how
and then when they had to do
annoying that
socially
would be.
distanced makeuping at Coronation
was
Street,
just
they decided
doing that?
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't think it'd be that difficult to put cover on your arms, but it just would take a long time.
Yeah. Okay. What other actors can we do?
Ben Price.
Oh yeah, of course we've got to do a Ben Price, haven't we? Does Ben Price
like people on Twitter?
Doesn't want to know. Okay.
Corrie does Ben Price.
Corrie.
Yeah.
No questions about that.
Right. Oh.
Corrie does Ben Price leaving.
Somebody needs to start searching for Ben Price on.
I want to know about Is Ben Price married? Alexandra Wheeler. Is Ben Price ill? Hope not.
Oh, I like this one. Who is Ben Price in a retrieved reformation?
I don't understand the question.
Is that some kind of historical
Who is Ben
thing?
Price in Jimmy Valentine?
Oh, he plays Jimmy Valentine.
Look at this one. What is the price of Ben and Jerry ice cream?
Well, how much is
Competitive.
it? It's like a £5, isn't it? It's about £5.
Yeah, it depends on the size of the tub. Okay.
Jack P. Shepherd.
Okay, is Jack P. Is Jack P. Shepherd married? No. No, I'm saying no. I think he's not. He's got a girlfriend.
Is Jack P. Shepherd related to Ben Shepherd?
No. I'm going to say no. This is all wants to know who he's related to.
Is Jack P. Shepherd related to Adam Long?
I don't know who that is.
Is Jack P. Shepherd single?
Oh, here's a good one. Does Jack P. Shepherd have epilepsy? I believe not.
No, he's just really good at acting.
Yeah, David Platt does on occasion.
Yeah, when the mood strikes him.
Yeah. Okay, right. I think we need to finish this off now. I do want to know about is Conversation Street
scripted?
Is Conversation Street scripted?
As you can tell.
And then let me just read the answer to that one. Yes,
it says who it is.
It says it's scripted. No, that is referring to Conversation Street. You know, the other Conversation Street, the Conversation Street that stole our name.
Intruders.
Yes, I don't know about that Conversation Street. It probably is scripted, but
Well,
this one is definitely not. That's why we often sound like
That's
we
why
don't
it
know what
sounds
we're talking
rubbish.
about and we say the wrong words.
Yeah.
Do we get any other questions about us? Can Conversation Street? No.
Conversation Street.
Conversation Street? No.
Mean lady.
Conversation. Not a question, Gemma.
Does the mean lady in
Conversation Street? No. Why nobody asked? I did Googling about Conversation Street. Is it because
the mean lady in Conversation Street get divorced?
How to start a conversation with a girl on the street.
How to start a conversation with a stranger on the street.
How many conversations? No, it's not biting, is it? It doesn't want to know about Conversation Street. Well, I enjoyed that, Gemma. I think we have answered the web's most burning questions about Coronation Street.
Did we just put in Coronation Street?
Can we just put in Coronation Street?
No, but did we?
I don't know. It won't be a question. Coronation Street, Morton's, Brenda. You can see what we've been searching. Spoilers, can't say no questions.
Oh, okay.
Although Natasha is on the suggested Coronation
that's
Street. Yeah, well done to her. But there we go. I feel that we've learned a lot. Maybe not about Coronation Street through this, but about what people want to know about Coronation Street.
And what
people want to know about the actors and their sisters.
Yes.
We do have most of the answers.
Only female actors.
Yes.
If you're a woman on you're an actor in Coronation Street, you better get your sisters. You better get yourself a sister because people love it.
Yeah,
absolutely can't wait to find out if you've got a female
Mallard
related to William Roach.
No, Freddie Fox.
Is Rob Mallard related to Freddie Fox? Does Rob Mallard have a brother?
Oh, there we go. Does Rob Mallard have a brother? People want to know. And if anyone is interested, I do have a sister, but she's not single. Well, she's not married either. But they've been getting out long enough. I don't think it's happening now. Right, we're done. Thank you, everybody, for listening / watching to our bonus episode for this week. Thank you for letting us do a middle section, which required barely any preparation. And I don't know what's coming next week, but I can't see my workflow decreasing anytime soon because we've got parents' evening next week. So they're either next week will be no middle section, or it might be an easy middle section. We'll have to see.
You can get them to just say, get up Google, put your kid's name in, and then put "is" at the beginning. We'll find out what funny things their Google says about your kid.
Maybe my middle section next week. Every single parent at parents' evening, I can say, ask me a question about Coronation Street, and the middle section can be, what's the parents of the children in Michael's class want to know about Coronation Street?
Why not?
Or maybe we can find something different than that. I don't know. I really don't know if we can have a middle section next week.
We will do.
Oh, gosh, we can't always guarantee it. Although we're doing pretty well recently, actually.
We haven't missed one since 1922.
We've occasionally missed one, but not very much recently.
That's enough. That's enough.
It. Gemma, where can people write into us, please, if they want to tell us how amazing this episode of the podcast was?
You can write to us at conversationstreet@gmail.com. We have a Patreon, we have a YouTube, we have a Facebook, we have a Twitter, we have Spotify.
Yeah.
What else do we do?
Instagram.
Instagram.
On Insta.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, everybody. Thank you for watching / listening. Bye for now. And don't forget to tune into our other bit of the podcast if you haven't done already to find out everything that we thought about this week's Coronation Street, including Sally and Tim's wedding, Todd being back, and what's going on with Ollie.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye.